Awesome. All right, you guys, welcome to our special Tuesday night team call for Body Electric. We have a special guest with us tonight, as I know you already know. We have Isabelle Daikeler, who is the co-creator of Shakeology, Daily Sunshine. You might recognize the last name as well, as she's married to our CEO, Carl. And I'm super excited that she's taking time to be on our team call tonight because we had the great fortune of talking to Dr. Luigi last week. And
oh, you did? That's so lovely.
We did. We talked a lot about performance line and beach bars. So tonight we're hoping to dive a little deeper into Daily Sunshine and Shakeology. They asked me to provide you with those questions. I would say that those are some questions we'd like to cover if we can, but we'd really just like for you to share with us what you think we need to hear, because sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And I assume that you know a lot more than we do. As the
Yeah, that's a wrong assumption.
But
I don't want to assume that I know what you need to hear. So I will go with the questions.
Yeah.
And I think that your follow-up questions or your interruption into my answers, feel free, may guide me to what you need the most. Or you can ask people, you guide me. It's your group.
Okay.
And I really want to cater to you. And I talk to, so many people on so many calls that it's very challenging to think I know what you need to hear. So I really want your feedback, and you guide me, and I'll go with it. So do you want me to hit the questions one at a time?
Yeah, if you don't mind, let's go ahead, since we sort of already kind of touched on Daily Sunshine, let's go ahead and just talk about Daily Sunshine, why it was created, sort of the science behind it. I'll let you just take it away.
So the question, why is the Daily Sunshine created? So one of the things that's interesting that I get for Shakeology and for Daily Sunshine is that why can't we get it all from our food? Now I can dive into that, into the logistic of that and the scientific aspect of that. But I have to say that the simple, the obviousness of that is that, yeah, I know perhaps, assuming that the food is good quality, perhaps we could get it all from food. I don't know anybody who does it all perfectly every day. And what horrified me is that I knew kids were extremely challenged in getting proper nutrition. I know the level of diabetics at a young age, hypoglycemia, which is the least of it. And I won't go down the list, but it's horrible. When I saw the data, it was horrifying, the truth of it, how real it became to me. So I knew it, but it's real, devastating numbers, meaning that kids are truly not fed. I'm sure many people can say, well, not mine. That's good. But Carl and I and Darren and the gang, we're not here to provide things for people that got it all together, that eat perfectly, that exercise perfectly, sleep perfectly. I have a perfect, calm, quiet, restful life. No drama happens, no unexpected events happens, and all is perfect and, fairy tale like. We're here to help the people that need help. And we do that because we needed help, right? So Carl works like a maniac, doesn't eat right. I have many stories that some of you may have heard of where I came from and what I needed help through herbs, adaptogen mushrooms, all that stuff, good nutrition, basically. So I needed help. So I'm here, and we're all here to help, hopefully, and give tools to people who feel they need it, who feel that somehow they are not able to provide their bodies with what it needs, or perhaps they don't know why or how, or there's so much information that they're completely confused. So if you're confused and you're trying to figure out, your kids also are in the midst of you trying to figure it out. So what I've noticed is that kids, with the challenge of knowing exactly what they need, but also the fact that most of us are dealing with picky eaters. I'm not an exception. Some kids are fantastic and love their broccoli and their asparagus, but most of us are dealing with them not wanting to eat the good stuff, the basic, simple stuff that we all know and agree they need for a foundation that is strong, with an immune system that is strong, and the fundamentals taken care of as they grow up, as the hormones kick in around 10, 11, 12, and then again 15, 16, 17, and on it goes. So we know that it's crucial from the day they were born until, the first first 10 years, let's say, that we have some an illusion of control over what they eat or don't eat. We have to try to do the best that we can to feed them what they need to have a healthy immune system, a healthy body that can handle stress. So the Daily Sunshine to me was created to help kids get those fundamentals, the things we know they need, and somehow if we can manage to feed them 4 heads of broccoli, we are very proud of ourselves, even though we know they need a lot more. Even that is an accomplishment sometimes. So this shake is basically those simple, clean, potent fundamentals, plus a few basic vitamins like vitamin D, and healthy fats, the protein, healthy carbs, good amount of fibers, and some probiotics, so that we know that in a delicious shake, in a form that the kids will accept and desire and ask for, that's the goal, that we know we're giving them at least one place where they've got that. And I can go on in situation examples how it serves me, but I don't know if it was recorded, but in the very beginning of this call, I was sharing a very situation where my son was going into a full drama thing. And the first thing I checked was, hey, did you have your snack? Did you eat a little bit? Well, half an apple. Yeah, that's not enough. Let's make a Daily Sunshine. Okay. And then we'll talk. And of course, it stabilizes blood sugar. It's so potent and it's so balanced and it's so clean. And it provides them with an instant feeling of having been fed what the body needed. It calmed down, and I was able to have a very sort of logical, sensible conversation and fix the problem. At that very moment, between my call at 5 and 4:39, when he came panicking and a teacher waiting for him, didn't have time to cook broccoli or salmon burger and try to make him eat it. But I could do a quick 2-minute shake, add an avocado in it and some sunflower butter, and he was deeply nourished. He loved it, no fight, easy on me. I got on my call on time, he's all good. So there's countless situations like that. And basically, so much of our challenges nowadays with kids' health is nutrition. And I was reading, and I've been reading so much about EMF and ADHD, ADD, autistic, Asperger, anything on the spectrum, or even just whatever normal kid meaning anybody who sort of can handle stress in a balanced kind of way. But even these kids are bombarded with vines on YouTube, and everything is quick, everything is fast, and then bombarded with these quick, fast messages. There's no long conversation, long movies, regular time, regular beats, pause, time where there's nothing to do, when you go out and you just go in the backyard, you hang out, you do your stuff, your imaginary stuff. Right away, most of them have a phone or an iPad or the TV on YouTube, and that bombards them as well and stresses their bodies, ours as well, like no tomorrow. The research are abundant. They're not really obviously published in a big, obvious way, but especially all over Europe, it's very clear. Some school banned phones and iPads. Some library in Europe are starting to do that. So it's a real deal that this is affecting us, and it's stressing us in a way that's never been done before. So we still don't know the consequences of that. That, on top of the regular affair of living, is highly stressful on our bodies and our little kids' bodies. So to me, it is a no-brainer. I was asked to make this shake 8 years ago, I think. It took me forever because we were afraid. Carl was afraid of the confusion between the Shakeology and the Daily Sunshine. And me, I knew that people were like, yeah, of course, kids, smaller body, cheaper. It doesn't work that way. It's very challenging to get something very clean, very potent, delicious, good texture, providing with a good amount of everything, not a diluted form. That something that works basically. And as you know, all our products go through the rigorous way of calibrating and testing all our ingredients. The same thing went into Daily Sunshine, the same amount of effort and work from our R&D team. And to me, it's a no-brainer. It's very real. The need is very neat, is very obvious. And once you start using it, I think you sort of agree. You start using it more and more. They can have more than one. It's whole food. So parents don't have to worry about anything. If you bring it to your pediatrician, you will see that they're relaxed because all the ingredients are recognizable. They're not afraid of some unknown, because most doctors are not really that educated in terms of nutrition. It's not what their expertise are about. So when they see all the ingredients, sometimes some they don't know, they don't want to say, yeah, go for it. And I understand that. In front of unknown, you don't want to give your thumb up. But the Daily Sunshine is very simple. You recognize all the ingredients, and it's not that many. It's the basic fundamentals. So I was trying to cover up my bases. Also, the Shakeology has a little bit of a bitterness in it, and most kids don't drink the full portion, so they don't get the full benefits. As opposed to the Daily Sunshine was tested with like 400 something kids, I think. And so we made it a little sweeter, and it's catering to most kids' taste buds. So most of them will like it and will drink the whole thing. It also, as a bonus, camouflages the spinach or whatever you want to add to it, because it's a little sweeter, a denser taste, less, all the adaptogen mushrooms and the herbs in Shakeology. Sometimes when you add more veggies or something that tastes a little too much for kids, for adults too. But the Daily Sunshine camouflages very well. So you can still add your avocado, your spinach, your kale, whatever you're into, but it will camouflage it much better so they won't realize it's in there. I could go on and on because I love it. But talk to me. Tell me if you think I answered your question.
Yeah, I've actually been drinking Daily Sunshine every day since it came out.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm wrapping up my 80-day obsession, so I've
Oh,
been
yay.
consuming it even on 80-day obsession. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of it, and I have an 18-month-old, and as soon as we go to her 20-month appointment, I'm going to get the clearance on her having the Daily Sunshine every day. She has sipped mine, so she likes it. So I'm excited.
Good.
I love that you just mentioned the avocado and sunflower butter, because those are two healthy fats that we try to get in her diet every day. So
Yeah.
again,
Even coconut oil.
coconut oil. Yeah, we could
Yeah.
add that to there. That's a great idea. So does anybody, and coaches, by the way, if you guys have any questions about Daily Sunshine or as we're going, please send them
Yeah.
to chat so that we can see them. But for me, yeah, I think that's exactly what I was looking for, is for you to just kind of give us your insight as to why it was created. Now, is this something, and I guess I might be jumping ahead with questions a little bit, but is this something where with Shakeology and Daily Sunshine or whatever it is you guys are formulating, is this something that you're sort of like constantly, nurturing? Is there like a lab somewhere that you guys go to? Because I feel like coaches have this idea that, we don't really know what's kind of behind the curtain when it comes to making these products. So can you touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, I can touch on that. But before that, that's the one place that I asked Mike. I love to introduce Mike and the gang in my Zoom calls. I think they should be more, part of the whole media part of Beachbody, and I think they will be in the future, so that you get to meet them all and understand very specifically what the process is all about. But I asked Mike to give me a little bit of an answer here to actually cater to what you just mentioned. So he wrote, "The research and development lab is the domain of the product development team, and it is where all the Beachbody's nutritional products are developed, therefore Daily Sunshine as well. It is the busting place where product ideas get formulated into prototypes as they start the process to becoming new or improved product. It's also where existing products and new ingredients get tested. In addition, the lab is the place where we produce and pack small volumes, no more than a few thousands, of new and improved products formulations for testing with coaches before launching. Beside lots of bench space for working on products and storing ingredients, the lab houses various testing equipment and instrumentation, including microscopes, vibratory sieves to test particle size, density measurements units, sorry about the accent, viscometers for accessing texture and product thickness, packaging leak detector, flow meters, pH meters, analytical balances, and weight scales, to name a few of the instrumentation in the lab. We also have temperature-controlled storage chambers for conducting stability and shelf life tests. All of our analytical chemistry and microbiological tests are conducted by independent labs. Regarding the safety of consuming the daily sunshine, I was wondering, I think it's just fine because it's food. But just so you know, because it's here, he says that there are absolutely no concern consuming 2 servings of daily sunshine a day, and there's nothing on our labeling that states only 1 serving a day. So basically, everything that's created for Beachbody goes to the rigorous testing. We just like Shakeology, the Daily Sunshine, and any other product in our lines that I can speak of, we go to the farm, we test the soil, we test the ingredients there at the farm. We know the farmers, we know the people that process our products, we know the facilities, the vendors, the suppliers. We ask for tests for everything, then we test ourselves, then we have independent people testing our products. The amount of testing is incredible. That's to make sure that Shakeology or the Daily Sunshine, since this is what we're talking about, has everything we need and we want, and has nothing of the stuff we don't need and don't want. So we don't just ask them to give us the best of their proofs, but we then independently test, because you don't know unless you know. And I know that I have like old stuff here that, we have to make sure, I can read everything, but we have to make sure that the microbiome enhancers that we have, our probiotics and our enzymes, are for real. They are potent, they are active, alive. We have to make sure that the constituents in our plants, in our mushrooms, in our adaptogen mushrooms and herbs, in our protein, in our carbs, our fiber, everything is what it is that we want from them. So it is actually active all the way until it is in the bag. We test hundreds of bags before we seal them and ship them to you to make sure that it's exactly what we want it to be, even in the bag, before you get it at your door. And that requires, dozens and dozens of people. That's not even talking about the people that go all around the world to meet the farmers, to test the soil, to make sure that it is what it is before it's shipped, as it arrives, and again at our facilities, then it's quarantined, all that. So it's a lot of work, it's beautiful work, and it's the only way that we know what we've got. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think anybody listening could possibly be like, I'm a little concerned about Shakeology and the quality of the testing.
We are concerned for you.
Well, and I remember we actually had the great fortune of Darren being here in Indy a couple years ago for I think it was a Super Saturday or an event that we had. And he went into a lot of depth about like the farmers and the sustainability of that and a little bit.
Fair trade.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I wanted to mention. I have a question here for you just about ingredient quality. So I was kind of hoping maybe you could talk about, I hate to position this question this way because it just seems so, I don't know, but I'm going to ask it anyway, because I know we have the broad spectrum of new coaches here. We have challengers even here that wanted to hear more about Shakeology. So can we hear a little bit about just the ingredient quality, how you guys go about finding ingredients, or
Well, this is what I just talked about, basically. Right. That's exactly what I just covered here. So then if that for some reason is not showing you why the ingredient, the quality is what it is, I'm going to read it. That was not prepared for this particular question, but I think it will work. Let's see. There's thousands of...
Yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
There's thousands of hours spent on due diligence. That's what you're talking about, the process I just described. It's called due diligence. And thousands of tests conducted on bag prior to delivery. Customers can trust that what's in Shakeology is actually in Shakeology, which is what I just mentioned. We do what's right even when nobody's looking in the supplement industry. That means that some of the elements that are accepted as safe or okay in the industry, often Darren and I and the gang will disagree with that. And so we have to test, because since it's accepted, it will be utilized without having to ask us permission. So also that's one of the reasons why we do have to do our due diligence, because there are things that maybe the industry is okay with, but we're not. So we do exhaustive due diligence from seed to bag, which is what I just described, from the farm all the way to when it's delivered at your door. Who we work with is important to make sure what's actually in the bag is in the bag without adulterants. We pick suppliers and farmers collectives that build human equity. Family farms, multi-generational farm business examples, Van Duran Farms, that's one of the farms we use. So people that have been doing it for hundreds of years, from one generation to the next. We love to enhance and take advantage of this sort of love work from people that have done it for hundreds of years and are the best at it. So we love to partnership with these guys. Let's say the Peruvian ingredients, which demonstrates the seed to bag. So we, Peru is one place where we get a lot of stuff. And so we're highly, what's the word in English? We are highly active in communication. They don't speak English. So asking them and, utilizing the California terms, organic, fair trade, all that stuff doesn't work. You have to be, connected, to trust each other, and to explain the entire process in order to understand what we're talking about. So that takes human beings. You can't do a phone call and ask these questions. You have to know, you have to be there. And that's one thing that we don't do. We don't just buy and trust and make phone calls. This is real human relationship. We show up, we know each other. And when we do talk on the phone, we know what we look like. We've shook hands. We have a real relationship. And that really matters, as you all know. We reject more suppliers than we approve, which makes our life very complicated. We had to develop our own pea protein. With the pea protein on the market, to our understanding, was challenging to digest. And so we were not happy with the quality of the pea protein. So we worked 2 years with a supplier to make sure we had a pea protein that we like, the quality that we like. That's 2 years of work before it ends up in your bag. Because of what we believe in, not because we were made to do that, asked to do that. We could have bought pea protein on the market, but we created our own. This is how far we go to really create something we're proud of. Planet. We believe in sustainable farming, clean labels, and fair trade. We strive to know exactly how each ingredient is grown and harvested, and how it can be carefully processed into beneficial powders. Carefully processed means delicate processing, again, that does not kill any of the constituents, but allows everything that is alive and potent and enhancing to our health to remain in the powder, and yet being able to not have anything that we don't want in the powder. So that's what this means. Let's see. Quality and authenticity is important to us. Our experts actually go to each supplier to verify the ingredient is actually unadulterated and ensure our standards are being upheld on site. We don't assume. 3-step quality process: identification, purity, and cleanliness. And we do 300 spot tests per batch. So each batch is spot test 300 times, so that we know that what we saw at the farm, what we wanted, what we intended to have, is in the bag. So I'm basically sort of, with some, the proper wording, I'm reiterating what I've explained to you. We believe in continuous improvement. And of course, if there's a better way to do things, we'll test it and we'll integrate it with our work if it's appropriate, if we allow it, if we like it. Same thing with ingredients. If there's something out there that we think is fantastic, we'll do all the due diligence, which is what I just described. And then if we happy with it and we can incorporate it with Shakeology, we will, like we did with Chaga mushroom not so long ago, matcha green tea not so long ago. But sometimes, as you see, it took 2 years to get the pea protein up to par for our, for what we wanted. So it's not, I like that, let's put it in. It could be, but it's not for the Beachbody team. Did that clarify at all, or tell me what you need?
No, that's brilliant. One thing that I have told the coaches here before, that I've been a coach for over 8 years. When I joined, we had chocolate and greenberry to choose from with the whey formulations. And anyway, yeah, I tell people now when they ask me, what's the difference between Shakeology and another shake on the market, or what's the awesomeness about Shakeology? And I usually like to tell them a story about how, for years and years, I knew there were a lot of coaches in the network, and people asking why we didn't have a vanilla shake, and how, it seemed like it constantly was coming up. And then at a summit one year in Las Vegas, we're all sitting in the crowd, and Michael Neiman comes out in a vanilla Shakeology costume. And I can remember people around me, I can remember hearing people around me saying, like, what? Like, but I thought we couldn't do vanilla because it would, that means, are we compromising our quality? And so I tell this story to my customers about how, no, in fact, we found a sustainable source for that vanilla. And I think just sort of connecting people.
Madagascar.
Yeah. Connecting people with just that story tells a lot about sort of the integrity of the company and the product itself. So I think what you just described is reiterating that for sure. So.
And I tend not to compare. By comparison, you always have to put someone down, and
Right.
I'm highly uncomfortable with that.
Yeah.
And if someone is attached to a certain shake, a certain name, it's okay, right? I'm attached to Beachbody, and but I don't have to, pretend that everybody else is something else. Right. I don't like to talk about that, but there's nothing wrong with having good pride in what I created with the team at Beachbody and Darren. There's nothing wrong for you coaches to, share your story of how you have been helped with the product at Beachbody, and to talk about its quality, its due diligence, its potency, that it's not just the ingredients, but to make sure that they can be assimilated and processed and digested and utilized by the body, probiotic, digestive enzymes. There's nothing wrong with boasting about something that you're proud of, without having to put anybody else's down. That's irrelevant to me. You talk about what you know, you talk about your experience, you talk about the information you have, and then people make their choices. I'd never say compared to. I just know that it's challenging being in the business to find high potency, high quality standards that I want for my kid, for myself, for my best friends, for my family. That it's getting harder and harder. That I know. That it requires more and more out of us all to make sure that the Shakeology remains what we want it to be. So that's what I focus on. This is why I'm not too concerned with what's going on out there. I need to know that we do due diligence. I need to know what I say is true. I need to know that it's potent and enhancing to people's well-being. That's what I need to make sure. That's my job, and everybody else at Beachbody. And that's my focus. To tell you it's better that, than that's not my job to tell you that it's better that. Perhaps your job, in order to take care of your body, is to test and to know for yourself if it works for you, what the difference is for you. And that's where I'm at with this compared to.
Yeah, no, I love that.
It's the same thing with workouts. I highly dislike just wanting to look hot. The purpose of your workout. Now, it's a good jumping board, right? It's a good place to be, but I really pray that any woman will, or man, but we tend to be more prone to that because of the market. You may start there, but I want someone to, in my greatest dreams, is that you are here at the Beachbody platform to show yourself that you can actually make choices that are enhancing to your well-being on all levels. Being healthy is the beginning of happiness. It's very challenging to be sick, not well, and to find other ways to continue enhancing your level of joy and happiness. First, we need to be healthy. So it's a good start. But you can't keep on working out or eating healthy just to look hot or to try to defy gravity and pretend you're not going to age and die one day. That's going to happen. But all of it can be done with much more grace, much more joy, much more, courage and a sense of value for your well-being and the beingness that that you are worthy of loving yourself enough to choose Shakeology over a Dorito bag. That choice is not about just looking good. That choice is about I care about who I am. And I'm making that choice not so I can look hot in the bikini, but because this body, all these organs, all these systems are highly valuable to me. It's the only system I have for the rest of my life. I've got 2 kids, beautiful, marriage or whatever situation you're in. I want to create things. I want to be in service. And I need to take care of this amazing system that was given to me that functioned perfectly. And I want to do the best that I can to be conscious and loving toward myself. That's why you train. That's why you eat healthy. That's why you date the shake and not, a Coke. So, it's all that to me. So I'm 50. I don't care if another woman at 50 looks hotter than me. I don't care that the lines are adding up. What I do care, having been very ill and unable to function, I do love to participate in a hike. I'm just starting to be able to walk and hike a little bit. It's amazing. I can't wait. I feel like I'm reborn. The value of being active, of participating in life, and all of your beingness pinpoint, strong, so you can participate in life with the people you love until the day of your last breath. That's what it's about, participating in your life, being there, creating this life. And the beginning of that, and I say the beginning because you don't stop there, is handling this body. And so for me, that's the purpose of Shakeology, of Daily Sunshine, of Ultimate Reset, of our Boost. That's the whole point, 3-day refresh. How can we do these things in a healthy way without harming ourselves? That's the purpose behind all of it.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. I don't think there's a better way to wrap up than that, for sure.
Are we done?
So, we do have a couple questions in the chat.
Oh, okay.
And let me scroll up. I think there's 2 of them. Okay, so the first one, if you don't mind answering, is some people have mentioned both Daily Sunshine and Shakeology, having both of them per day, or a couple servings of either one. Is there an amount of servings that we should not go over per day? So
for the Daily Sunshine?
Or I think if you're consuming both, should you not have 2 Daily Sunshines and a shake, or 2 shakes and a Daily Sunshine?
No, like I said, the two Daily Sunshine a day is not a big deal. Again, it's food. Mm-hmm. Now, legally, is a perfect legal answer. But, okay, just so you know, so Daily Sunshine is organic fruit, vegetable, 10 grams of plant protein, good source of fiber. So it's food. It's all good. It's the stuff you want your kids to eat tons of. So I feel pretty damn good telling you this, not a problem. Shakeology has more adaptogen mushrooms, more phytonutrients, antioxidants, vitamins, some of them if you take the whey version. So we always recommend that you bring the back to your doctor and that you choose for yourself if it's appropriate for you, your kids, your husband. But again, all of it is food-based. That's the common denominator between the 2 shake. It's food-based. Mm-hmm. So if you feel comfortable having a McDonald's or Doritos and a Coke and, all that other stuff in the market, I don't think you should be that worried about our shakes. Right. But bring it to your doctor, check with him, make your own decision.
Yeah, I'll tell you from my own experience that traveling, Shakeology and Daily Sunshine helped tremendously. And now, especially with the beach bar too, having those options is a game changer when traveling.
Oh yes, it's incredible. I mean, for me, kid cannot have soy, no dairy, no gluten, hypoglycemic, super picky. And so when we travel, oh my God, it's like thank God I have this because it would be hell,
Right.
hell.
Hmm.
So, even in a great restaurant, if it doesn't taste quite like at home, you just won't eat it.
Hmm.
So, yeah, they're lifesavers, honestly.
Right.
Even for me, so often I arrive to these calls and I haven't had time to eat,
Hmm.
and my shake saves my life. So,
For sure.
yes, ask the other question.
Okay, the other question is basically about the oxidation of Shakeology or Daily Sunshine. If it says on the instructions that if you drink it, you should drink it within 30 minutes of mixing. Is that
Yeah.
imperative? Can you keep it in the fridge, etc.?
Yes. So you can keep it in the fridge during the day, overnight in the freezer. What it does change though is the texture, the taste, the smell. So we can't guarantee that it will be exactly as we designed it to be if you go past the 30 minutes. Like food, if you cook an egg and you eat it after 30 minutes, it won't taste the same. Any food that sits in your plate for 30 minutes will start changing because of oxidation. So the color, the smell, the taste might change. The vitamins will remain the same. But of course, as the days go by, past the expiration date, or if you let it sit there too long, not that day, but more than one day in the fridge, let's say, we can't guarantee that the amount of vitamins will be the same. Again, because it's food and it's not chemically preserved. Therefore, it reacts and behaves like food,
Mhm.
which is a good sign.
Yeah, right. I think you could probably, since we've covered that, I mean, it's similar to like when Shakeology is heated, right? For people who make like Shakeology cookies or Shakeology, something that they're baking. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it can change the overall nutrient value, I guess,
Yeah.
when
Some
it's
minerals and vitamins, some micro ingredients will remain the same pretty much, and some won't because you baked it.
right, right,
It is processed in a very delicate manner to retain these constituents and these vitamins and minerals and all antioxidants and phytonutrients. Um, the same way that they say, don't cook your veggies, try to eat some raw or lightly sauteed, or you have a fresh veggie juice. You do that because you want to keep the aliveness of what's in there. Same principle for Shakeology.
yeah, makes total sense.
So really, when people, I think, that I want to make sure with our crowd here, because let's see if I can. I'm not used to these computers, but let me see if I can see people. No, I don't. I don't have any faces. But I would love to know if the confusion between Daily Sunshine and Shakeology has been clarified, at least with us. The truth, because I don't see you guys, so you have to tell her.
Okay, so yeah, if you guys want to send it in the chat, you guys feel free to speak up here. But
I
for me,
love questions. I love to be challenged. Give me the questions that scare you from potential customers.
sure.
Hit me.
Well, I think for me, I love just the simplicity of Daily Sunshine. I know that when I look at the back of the bag, like you said earlier, I understand what the ingredients are. I don't really have very many questions about anything. With Shakeology, I know that I trust the quality I trust the company, and I trust that if I look up some word like bacillus something or other, it's going to be most likely a probiotic or prebiotic or something healthy for me.
That's right.
But it just seems more simplified, right? Daily Sunshine just seems
That's
more
right.
simple. So for
That's
me,
right.
yes, it does make sense.
It's really the elements that most people are not capable of feeding their kids enough of, like way not enough of.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Look, we got some messages here in the chat. And they're going fast. Hang on one second. Okay. So, yeah, my kids love Daily Sunshine. The info is great and crystal clear. The clarification is good. My 2-year-old loves Daily Sunshine. I know the bag says 4 years and 4 years and older. We started her on 1 tablespoon and are slowly increasing. Is there any reason she shouldn't have a full scoop until she's 4?
I am legally not allowed to comment on that, but say please bring the bag to your pediatrician, make him look at the bag. If he feels good about it, which he probably will, have a great time. But again, I see people eating, at the worst place, feeding their kids some wild stuff that never expires, with a list of ingredients this big. Most ingredients I don't know what they are. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with it. But That's personal. I would say you're just fine, but you have to check with your doctor and make your own decision based on what you feel comfortable with.
Right.
All those questions, Darren and I used to have a great time 8 years ago, talking and saying everything we wanted, but we have to be aware now that it's run differently because there's a need to be aware and to respect some laws that have good reasons to exist. So, specific disease problems with health we can't comment on, and those kind of questions we can't comment on except for what we were given. And I respect that. I see the need for it because at the end of the day, there's thousands of you, and we can't know specifically each of you what's going on, and we have to honor that truth.
Yeah, I love Jackie's follow-up statement here. She says that her doctor told her to, her doctor told her to mix for medicine and chocolate syrup. So so at this point, she's probably going to just trust her gut on this one.
That's funny. Who said that?
Jackie, yeah, she's here on the phone. She's the one that said, about the 1 tablespoon. I think if your doctor thinks chocolate syrup is okay, I'm guessing that Daily Sunshine should be good.
That's fine. Yes.
Well, I know for me, I know I didn't have any questions pertaining to the Ultimate Reset, but I did want to just share personally that has definitely been the #1 game-changing program that I've done in my 8 years. I just figured it up yesterday that I think I've done 16 now. When I finish 80 Day Obsession, I've done 16 fitness programs. I've done pretty much everything except the dance workouts because I just don't dance. But the Ultimate Reset was something that I had done P90X 4 times in a row. And I hadn't seen a lot of changes with my diet because I wasn't fully embracing the nutrition plan. And not to go into my whole story, but my background and the reason I got into Beachbody and involved was I actually had dealt with chronic migraine for a really long time and had multiple neck surgeries, multiple anti-seizure drugs pumped into me, like trials and all kinds of things to try to figure out how we could stop the headaches and what was causing them. So long story short, P90X became sort of my distraction. It was a way for me to sort of just be in pain in another way is what I tell people. And so I saw great results with P90X. I toned up, but like I said, I didn't feel much different on the inside. Like I still had the headaches. I still was having some issues. And so thank goodness I kept pushing and I kept looking to find someone that could help me. I had multiple neurologists, multiple spinal doctors, multiple everything. I wound up with a holistic doctor, someone who was very into natural medicine and was a huge fan of Shakeology and still is my doctor and still is a fan of all this stuff.
Oh, give him a big hug for me.
Yes, she actually asked for my business card last time I was there, which was interesting. I thought, well, most people wouldn't be giving their doctor their business card, but it's good to know, right, that she understands this kind of stuff and that she's
very good.
It's hard to find, I think, in the medical community sometimes.
But it's happening.
Yeah, but I just wanted to share that for me, the Ultimate Reset took me off of dairy. Obviously, you know what it does, but it helped me figure out sort of some things that were contributing to my digestive issues, contributing to my headaches and all sorts of stuff. I'm sitting here looking at Kim, at Abby, at some of the people on our team who've done the Ultimate Reset and have had very similar life-changing results with that. So
I don't to hear you.
Yeah, I absolutely love it, and it's the one thing that I wish I could get every customer to do, but it's not always the easiest entry level thing to do. So
I love that you say that. I love it. It's one of my favorite. Were you about to say something?
No, I just was going to ask you sort of, are there more things? And I know that 2B mindset is sort of its own thing, right? Are there things like the Ultimate Reset? Obviously the 3-day refresh is a great sort of intro,
yeah,
but it's not quite the Ultimate Reset. So what would you say? I mean, if you were talking to a customer that was maybe like me, dealing with chronic pain, dealing with something like that, what could the Ultimate Reset potentially bring out for them? Obviously we can share stories, but
I can share with you that the basic of the Ultimate Reset, it's to help you figure yourself out for sure, to know exactly what does work for your system, what does not work for your system. 1. 2, it will lighten up the load on your digestive tract, on your immune system. It will allow your body to take a deep breath, really. not having to work so hard. So gives it some healing time. And it will, by eliminating different food group, enhancing foods that is more healing, easily digested, simplified, and taking the fluff away, right? We slowly get rid of the fluff and stimulants. So your body can recharge, sort of, what's the word when you turn off your phone, you reboot it. It's a reboot. And what happened is, so you lighten up the load, eliminate stimulants, bring in more healing food, and then you help it let go, right? Then there's a fiber and ingredients that helps to clean and let go of stuff that may have sat in your system for a long time. We're just helping it do what it knows how to do. Supplementing it the food that it knows it needs for what the job requires, which often we don't. Now again, with additive, preservative, EMF, stresses of any kind, it's very challenging for the body to get what it needs, get the rest it needs, and simply to be clean enough to have an awareness of what does not work. So what happens, you do all that, and then you reintroduce ingredients one at a time. And so your body has had time to refuel, reboot, rest, and then you start eating slowly more food. And then you're very hyper aware, you meaning your body, it's aware, it's clear, and it's capable of saying, "Ooh, that doesn't work for me." So you sometimes will discover that something you thought was very good for you, suddenly, after not having any bloated, any heartburn, any digestive problems for a while, your body started recalibrating, balancing itself, working more smoothly. Then you introduce a food group, all is well, and suddenly you eat something and poof, it doesn't work. You know without a doubt, oh, that doesn't work for me. For now, it doesn't mean forever. It means perhaps you take a month or 2 or 3 and you don't have that food for a while, and then you try it again and it might work. Your body may have needed a break from that food that you may eat too often, rely on it too much. And any stimulants or any chemicals, of course, will speak so loud to you. So you become very clear of what works, what doesn't work on the physical level, but also as you take away the food, you are face to face with habits. That's my true goal behind it all. You are face to face with what food do you go to feel safe, to feel cuddled, to deal with scary emotions, scary situations, undesirable events. It makes it very clear because it's a very rigorous system, very clear, and therefore suddenly at 8 o'clock, you can't reach for the bag of whatever. So you become hyper aware of your habits and your patterns, how not to deal with your life. So it confronts you a lot with that as well. And if you stick to it, just like you stick with a P90X, it will allow you to free yourself not only of the physical challenges that you do not need to choose, meaning the food and the habits that are not serving you, but the emotional habits that are not serving you either. It makes everything crystal clear, which is why it's highly demanding, very difficult for most people, even though it's super clean. And in terms of physical effort, it's 10 times easier than 80-day obsession. But I'm telling you, most people would rather do 80-day obsession than having a program that requires you to be with yourself, to be aware of when you sit down and you eat, to take walk, calm, mellow walk, where you are intimate with who you really are. No more distraction, no more beating yourself up in order to feel good. What is it like not to beat yourself up? What it is like not to distract yourself anytime something is uncomfortable. We do not realize how often we run away from ourselves, especially with the iPhone and the iPad and the TVs. You don't have to sit at the grocery line anymore and have nothing to do. but look around and be with your thoughts. You flip your phone, it's like a cigarette, right? It's the replacing the cigarette, where you now are getting distracted and you can think about something else. So this program is about, oh, no, all that is gone. You're not even going to beat yourself up for an hour and a half every day in the morning and feel so good about yourself. You're going to sit with what's uncomfortable, and we're going to check what it feels like. But what you don't realize is the payoff is incredible, because in 3 weeks, so much happens, and you are getting intimate with yourself, and you are letting go of habits that you may have had for 30 years, and you are relaxing deeply, healing deeply. And so when you get back on it, you feel amazing. And when you do go back to your workout programs and your diet, your results are much better. I used to share with people that what you may not know about me is I was a track and field coach for 10 years. And it was something we did with our track and field athletes. We would take a few weeks every so often where they did nothing. They ate very differently. They just healed. They just found a calm place within themselves to recoup from all the hard work. It's very important to do that. Mothers especially, we're like athletes. So I'm thrilled that you say that, because I'm always afraid the program will disappear. It's not a sexy program. We can't market it the way we can market 80-Day Obsession, P90X, Hip Hop Abs. It's about something profound. To me, it's the foundation of it all. It's my favorite program. It is challenging, but the payoff is incredible. And it's simple, and it works if you do it as is. And the reason why we ask for no exercise, no rigorous exercise, very important, is you do not understand how hard your body works on the 3-day reset. To do all that clearing, cleaning, letting go, healing, that requires a whole lot. So there's no energy. We don't want to waste that energy in a workout. You can go ahead and beat yourself up for the rest of your life after those 3 weeks. But commit yourself to those 3 weeks the way you commit yourself to PD90X or 80-Day Obsession. I highly recommend it. Thank you. I never get to do that many calls on it. I'm shocked that it's still around, and that is a proof that the product works. There's no PR on it. Most coaches don't try to sell it because it's challenging to get people on it, because it's not sexy. But it's the real deal, and I'm very, very proud of it. And if you do it as is, it works. And it gives you so much more clarification on your life. I'm sure you could speak to that, especially with everything I just heard about your life story. The amazing thing about us all is that we all have incredible life stories. Most of us have gone through stuff that is incredible. I hear just what you just shared with me, and I'm like, here's another incredible human being who had kids, married, working, running a house, dealing with incredible physical challenges, emotional, spiritual challenges, and yet, once again, found her way to holistic health, food, which is what we're about. And so many of us, myself included, got back on our feet that way. And then if you keep going, this detox program makes so much sense as you continue honoring yourself. All these things I've outlined becomes just the obvious. So I don't even care if you don't do it with our system. I try to put together, me, Darren, and the gang, we try to put a system, all that we have learned, all the confusion and the trying a million things, we try to condense and put it in a program form that is clear and simple to follow, so that you don't have to do the 15, 20 years of trials that we have. That's all. Am I saying it's the only way? Of course not. But definitely what you share is the truth. And thank you so very much for sharing that on this call.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's funny to me because when people say to me, I just finished 80-Day Obsession, or I've done PNDS or whatever, I sometimes think deep down, like, still not as impressed as I would be as if you told me you'd done the 21-day ultimate reset, right? Like, I'm still not as impressed. So,
totally.
yeah.
No, I do like, I have a little Facebook page that I don't advertise, don't sell anything on it. I just talk about topics and things, and I share my thoughts on it, not as an expert, just as a woman with you guys. But what I'm noticing as I scroll down sometimes to check if things are working in terms of technology, um, I'm like, wow, I always, in a way, I'm saying the same thing. The best way to deal with challenges is to sit with them, move through them, not avoid any of it. You find yourself through that. You find your clarity. You find your health. You find out how you need to deal with your body and your well-being on all levels. And this is what I love about all our products. It's food. It's simple. It's obvious. And we're not reinventing the clock. And yet, if you utilize these obvious tools, it works. And there's so many different things on the Beachbody platform, things that some of the stuff I'll never use. I'm like in awe of you doing any of the obsessions. I cannot get that obsessed. But God, the results are incredible. What it does is incredible. So I love the fact that we have so many products that you can find yourself in it. And to me, that's the beauty of coaching. You are basically what I've done my whole life. So I went through challenges on all levels, and I found myself through holistic help, acupuncture, acupressure, meditation, whole food, adaptogen herbs. The microbiome became a big deal. Um, connecting with myself, having the guts and the courage to be still with it all. And nature healed me in so many ways. And then people saw the results, saw that it worked, and started coming to me, and I started helping them. That became part of my training program. So really the Beachbody platform to me is a no-brainer. But I knew that my humanity, my story, my own experience had a lot to do why people trusted me, confided in me, and knew that I wanted their greater good. And this is why there's no machine here. It's people. And your story, your experience, your truth with our product is what's the most important here of what to share. They can trust that experience in you. You're not fabricating that. That's potent. And it helps you believe in the product as well. And then there's all these products so that you can use your humanity to understand, to hear, to listen. What do they need? How can I really be of service here? Not just sell something. Sell only if I honestly 100% believe it may help them. But which product? That's the fun part. You don't have to tell them you must take something from Beachbody, but let's talk. Maybe there's something I can provide. We have so much, and so many of their products have helped me. So let's talk. What's your story? What do you think you need? And then you start, brainstorming. And with all the products, I think this may work or that may work. That's the fun. That's the fun of being in service. And that's what you do. You're doing what I did my whole life. Now I'm doing it in a different way on this platform with Call. But that's what I did my whole life with food and all these other tools, and exercise and breathing, all that stuff. So I love what you represent, and how you're utilizing our platform. I think that's the future. That means that we do what we can. We do the best that we can, how to help ourselves. And sometimes you need a surgery. Sometimes you need a drug. Sometimes. But the goal is, how much can I help myself and understand and know myself and provide that to the best of my ability and go from there. And that's what you are. So thank you.
Well,
Thank you all.
Thank you. Well, I know that we're probably over your time, so we are
2 minutes, no big deal.
grateful for you hopping on here, for answering our questions and beyond. This, from the ultimate reset to Shakeology to Daily Sunshine to everything that I consume on a daily basis, everything that has made up my journey. Thank you from me, and thank you from all of our coaches, because we truly do look up to you and to Darren and the entire development team when it comes to these things. We know we can put our trust in you to kind of steer us in the right path when it comes to our nutrition. So
And we take that statement at heart. Just so you know, it's a big deal to know that somebody will give a product we produced to their 2-year-old, right? Or to someone to whatever program she's doing, pregnant or post pregnancy, or coming back from a great illness. That's a big deal that you trust what we put in there, and I take that to heart. So thank you so much for that trust. We continue doing our best to earn that.
Awesome. Well, I follow your little Facebook page that
Oh, you do?
that you think no one follows. Yes.
No.
No, I definitely do, and I love it. And I was actually gonna plug in there that I love your videos.
Oh, thank you.
So keep doing them for sure.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Yeah, we do a little blog. I think somewhere on the platform she does a written form, which I think is lovely. Yeah. Sometimes they write it better than I say it. So, but thank you. I appreciate that.
I understand that for sure.
Thank you, everyone.
Are you off to Tai Chi? Is that where you're off to Tai Chi with your son? Or
no, my son was doing well. Was supposed to do Tai Chi. It didn't quite go that well. He's been doing that for a few years. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to get that in. But we got a good 4 years out of it, so that's good. You know how it goes, right? Sometimes you just gotta let it go.
I understand. I completely understand.
No, now I'm gonna go for dinner.
Awesome. Well, we will let you go to dinner. So on behalf of the team, thank you so much for being here tonight, and team.
Thank you for having me.
For showing up, and I will have the recording posted on our team page tomorrow.
Oh, beautiful. Can you? I'm terrible with technology. Can you send it to maybe
Colin?
My little answer, like what's it called when you can have little text messages on Facebook or somewhere easy. I don't know the words because there's your whole sharing of the ultimate reset. I would love to have Carl listen to that.
Sure, I will do that. I will send it to you.
All right. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Be well.
Bye-bye.